Has Triple H's next WWE signing been leaked? We'll talk about it. Plus, Tony Khan is to address the William Regal contract situation, and the PWI #1 tag team has been revealed. Find out who in the wrestling news right now. Trips has been, wait for it, here's the line, terraforming Titan Towers for a good few months now. In fact, over the weekend, I took a look at the last 4 months of Paul Levesque in control of the ship and some of the changes, the moving, the shaking that's been going on. And it continues with possibly the next guy to join the company being revealed.
According to Cassidy Haynes at bodyslam.net, that is, who says that the NWA is holding their first set of TV tapings of the year.
Their final set of tapings for the year.
Sorry, their final set of TV tapings of the year. And this appears to be the last dates for one of the company's top stars. Colby Carino's contract is set to expire at the end of December, officially making him a free agent on New Year's Day 2023. According to sources, there is a whole lot of interest in Carino from WWE. And Hayes also reckons, Cassidy Haynes of bodyslam.net reckons that he was once told that Colby is a free agent in January. It is expected that he will then be traveling to Orlando, Florida to spend time at the Performance Center where he'll get a thorough look from the company. So it seems like if everything goes well, then that should be almost a done deal.
Now, this is a lovely bit of business because Colby's dad already works for WWE.
Right.
Former ECW and NWA world champion Steve Carino, who has been part of WWE as a trainer and a producer of NXT for quite some time. It was with his dad that Colby had his first ever match.
Oh, really?
I think he was barely out of his teens when he teamed up with his dad in 2001 in a tag match.
Right.
We talked about it on Desert Island Graps back in 2020, Colby and I. I think Colby's great. Like, I know NWA has been in a very interesting transitional phase at the moment, to put it very nicely, but Colby Carino has been a bit of a shining star on that in and around the junior heavyweight division.
Cool.
A lot of potential. And do you know what? It's funny. Every time I see him, he looks more and more like his dad.
Oh,
he looks like his dad.
You're looking like your dad.
He looks like his dad.
No, I hope he does well.
Yeah, I hope he does. I'm excited to see Colby Carino getting the finger point of doom from Triple H on a future WWE social media account. The William Regal situation rolls on into another week. So we talked yesterday quite extensively about how it's looking as if Regal's deal with WWE is nearly finalized. He's coming back to Stamford, and there's been question marks about sort of how true what we're hearing is. About his status and sort of why it's been allowed to get to this point. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful put out a tweet saying that Tony Khan's media call on Wednesday will address the status of William Regal. So once again, for those, if you loved AEW's press conference, you will love AEW's media call.
Yes.
Where more storyline and real life stuff takes place.
I wonder, when he says that Tony Khan will address it at this media call on Wednesday, I think that it'll be a pre-prepared, polished. I don't think Tony's going to let much slip, maybe, that we shouldn't already know. But you never know, because at AEW press conferences and media calls, funny things can happen.
I like the idea of his pre-statement. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to comment on that.
Oh, no, if he did that.
You cheeky rainbow, Tony Khan. Claudio Castagnoli has commented on Regal's situation, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. In an interview with DallasNews.com, he said, I guess we have to wait and see. We are still talking, he says. I believe that's about the future of the Blackpool Combat Club, possibly.
Yes.
We're still talking. I think we have to have a little group meeting to figure out what's next, or if there's a next. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. He is, of course, competing for the Ring of Honor World Championship against Chris Jericho in what should probably be the main event of Final Battle. But if he loses, then Claudio has to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. An outcome I can see happening, because the Blackpool Combat Club's without a leader at the moment because Regal's gone. He did speak about Regal as well and said, I never stopped learning from him. He's the reason I got into WWE in the first place back in 2011, and he was one of the reasons why I really felt at home when I got to AEW, because he was there. I was also the man who ended his career, so I feel like there's a connection there. There's that respect. If you share the ring with somebody, there has to be a connection, especially when that somebody is William Regal. And I always learn from him, just the fact to be around him as much as I have been in the last couple of months in AEW, and to be around him not just in the back but also in front of the camera. It's been emotional.
It's been emotional.
It has been emotional.
Obviously, a lot has been said about Regal's time in AEW, how a lot of people feel like he wasn't. There were some sources and some comments that came out that said like there was a maturity issue amongst AEW and William Regal, and there was a disconnect there. There's also been sources that have come out since then and said a lot of that is Boulder Dash, and William Regal was very well respected. Whenever he and Bryan Danielson were in the ring doing training, there was a sellout around the ringside area for people learning stuff from him. So it'll be interesting when all of this settles and we kind of get a clearer picture of how William Regal's experience in AEW was.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we're that far away from finding out, to be perfectly honest.
I think that as well, that it'll be really interesting to see what Regal does when he gets back to WWE. We talked a little bit yesterday about how he'll have a what was the wording of it, like a backstage, advanced role backstage or something.
Advanced role backstage.
So I wonder if that means that that's it for him behind in front of the camera, or whether he will make the occasional appearance still.
I think they'll have him make the occasional appearance. I think as soon as he's back under contract, they'll hit his music and he'll walk out and do something. Of course they will.
The wrestling war is on. It rumbles on.
Is it? And also, I wonder, is this the end of the gentleman villain?
Maybe.
You know?
He's been taken out. Maybe he's lost his villainhood.
Maybe. That's a shame. So I have enjoyed like the journeys that you go on listening to William Regal's podcast.
Oh my God, he really paints a picture, doesn't he?
He goes round the houses, but it's a lovely trip, so I'm not too bothered about it.
He once said something really intriguing where he talks about, I think he was talking about his time with Tajiri and the like little comedy partnership they had going on, and he was like, well, I often react rather than... He talked about how the scenes were so funny that they did together, little skits, and he was saying that he reacts and does certain old tricks he learned from... Well, and then he sort of cuts himself off and goes, old British things that no one listening to this will know about. And I was like, does he mean like Morecambe and Wise? Does he mean like old British comedy and that
He's
sort of
a
thing?
big fan of British comedy.
Yeah.
and quite often he'll start with like with a classic British comedy joke.
Yeah.
Like from one of the founding fathers of British stand-up.
Yeah.
So like, I will miss the gentleman villain if it goes away. I will miss it if it goes away. Let's end on some news from the Pro Wrestling Illustrated world. PWI's Tag Team 100 is out now. Used to be the Tag Team 50.
Yes.
We've had a boom in doubles divisions, which means that the doubles have doubled.
Yes, the doubles have doubled. Certainly have.
And we have ourselves now, we'll have more details later in the day about how the PWI Tag Team 100 shapes up and shakes down. But we can tell you that the Usos have taken the top spot. Uso, we the ones.
So recently, when the PWI, the men's and the women's PWI 500s came out, it was made clear by PWI's sometimes changing evaluation categories that this was a mixture this year of kayfabe achievements in storyline and titles held and that sort of thing, which it's always been, but also it also took into account like great matches they'd had and things outside the realm of kayfabe as well. So it's a mixture of real and fake. And real and predetermined, I should say, not fake, because wrestling's not fake, as we know.
No, of course not.
But I think if you consider all those things, you've got the Usos, they've had some brilliant matches, and in kayfabe, they've also been really successful. So I have no qualms, I don't think, with the Usos being number one.
Well, in the time that they have evaluated, and this year, and you do the PWI videos every year, so you can kind of, once we look at the list, you can sort of gauge how differently it's treated. Because they base it on in-ring.
They were kind to me this year, the comments. They were like, I agree with chat. I was like, hey! Dodged a bullet there.
Well, let's try it again later.
I know, yeah.
So they base it on in-ring achievement, influence on the promotion, technical ability, quality of competition as well. And during the evaluation period
you've got it written down.
of October last year and September just gone, basically the Usos were tag champs all the way through and defended them on the regular.
I was about to give some more thoughts, but maybe we'll save that for if we do a video later.
Let's hold fire on that.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm picking out the mind palace of Jack King. We'll do that later.
It's like a mind, like a bungalow.
With a satellite dish on the top for new news.
Yeah.
For the latest wrestling news, you can check out cultaholic.com throughout the day. Stay safe and love you. Bye.